There is a great mystery in the world. In the Death Valley National Park, there are sliding rocks. Its rocks and stones seem alive and moving when no one is looking, as animated by some incantation.
There have measured some of the world's highest air temperatures, for example 74 Celsius grades. These boulders are in a national park of Silicon Valley of Death Valley, and within the park is an area called the Racetrack Playa. A playa is nearly level area at the bottom of an undrained desert basin that is sometimes temporarily covered by water.
The truth, no one knows exactly how these rocks can move. Even though some people have raised some very good explanations. The reason why their movement remains a mystery. No one has ever seen moving.
The scientists don't have an explanation for this mystery. This unusual activity only is seen in the Death Valley National Park. In the method, they think it might be explicated by some one of the next four theories.
Are they moved by wind? This was a very reasonable explanation. The strong winds that blow across Death Valley from southwest to northeast. Most of the rock trails are parallel to this direction. This could be a strong evidence that wind is the prime involved with the motion of the rocks.
But it's possible that the boulders could be moved by people or animals. The shape of trails behind the rocks suggests that they move during times when the floor of Racetrack Playa is covered with a very soft mud. A lack of disturbed mud around the rock trails eliminates the possibility of a human animals pushing on or assisting the motion of the rocks. The boulders are possessed by Amerindian spirit warriors. The natives have made easy life, and they attribute these movements to Amerindian spirit warriors. According to them, the spirit stayed in the boulders.
Are they moved by ice? A few people have reported seeing Racetrack Playa covered by a thin layer of ice. One idea is that water freezes around the rocks and then wind, blowing across the top of the ice, drags the ice sheet with its embedded rocks across the surface of the playa. Some researchers have found highly congruent trails of multiple rocks that strongly support this movement theory. However, the transport of a large ice sheet might be expected to mark the playa surface in other ways. These marks have not been found.
All the best explanations involve wind to justify the execution of the movement of the rocks. The questions can be played are: while they were slide wrapped in the sheet of ice, can sample slide over the surface of the mud? Perhaps each of these methods could be responsible for some of the movement of rocks. Perhaps this story will be more interesting if the real answer is never found.
Death Valley's Racetrack Playa, a dry lake bed famous for the rocks that move mysteriously across its muddy surface. To date, nobody has seen the rocks move, and this trip was no different, the only evidence being the trails scoured across the ground, often hundreds of yards long and even changing direction. The answer lies at the south end of the playa, where a shallow lake remains after a rainstorm or when the snow melts that sometimes blankets the playa in winter. Strong desert winds drive the water across the mud at surprising speed, captured here on video for the first time. The temperature drops below freezing on most nights, and this advancing tide is crusted with vast sheets of ice. As the wind shifts and the flow ebbs, these ice flows drag the rocks across the slippery mud surface in zigzagging paths, even moving heavy rocks, and sometimes dragging some, but washing past others nearby.